Eat an oat milk cream pie afterwards. Hey, Bill, we gonna knock out the rest of our comp matches after this?
I think we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to.
Unless you're gonna try real hard to get home before they disappear tomorrow.
That doesn't sound likely based on how my life works.
Yeah.
It's easier just to play at night and hope.
Yeah. Okay, so that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here we go. We good to go? You guys good?
See?
As good as I will be.
Podcast.
Okay, then. Ow, jam. Hello again and welcome back. Okay, usually I screw up the Mana Pool one, but I've already screwed up the Monday Night Magic one.
Yeah, you did. You're making it harder to lip sync to.
Hang on, let me try this again.
I was gonna say you could start over.
Yeah, hang on. But I'm not gonna edit this out because it's me. Ow, jam! Hello again and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Monday Night Magic here on twitch.tv/themanapool. The delay is really funny watching Bill try to lip sync along.
I think my favorite part of it is predicting what you're going to say.
So, yes, in case you have not been paying attention for the last several weeks, we stream Monday Night Magic and the Mana Pool, it turns out, here on twitch.tv/themanapool. Yay!
Hooray!
So, I am Chewie, here on the far left. In the middle, to my right, is Witch throwing 10 bits to remind people to come watch live on twitch.tv/themanapool and throw money at Chewie. That seems to be a thing she does lately.
I mean,
I appreciate it.
If you're going to throw money at someone, it might as well be Chewie.
Yeah, please. So, to my right, in the middle, is Squee.
Hello, I am in the middle.
And to the far right is Cluze.
Hello.
Cluze, you have no bow tie.
No, it was too damn hot to keep the bow tie on.
That's how you know it's hot.
I thought about it, and I'm like, I can't. I just can't.
Bill, you have no bow tie.
It's 81 here.
Yeah, it's because it's 81 there. Why would I have a bow tie on?
In this room, not like outside, like right where I'm recording.
Chewie, you have no bow tie. All of this is awful.
You should really work on that, by the way.
Look, I only own 2 ties, and neither of them are bow ties.
And that's
I feel like
what
we
I'm
should
saying.
get Cluze one of those, like plastic insulation things shaped like a bow tie, and then he can keep it in his freezer. And then right before the show, when he's super hot, he can just stick it on his neck here and experience all the sensations of hot and cold at once with a bow tie.
So, this is Monday Night Magic number 621. And and Cluze has a message now.
Oh no, he has technology now.
Oh god.
This is not a good precedent.
So,
hey, look, it's us.
Oh, God.
That's why you don't mess with it, Cluze.
Sorry.
Cluze is
Try
learning
to be
how to
clever.
technology.
No, I'm
Cluze,
not.
just write it down on paper and hold it up, and then we'll laugh at you when it's mirrored.
Is it mirrored?
No, actually, it's mirrored for you, but not for the rest of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So if you hold it up, it'll look mirrored, but we won't see it as mirrored.
All right.
That's
Should write
why.
your password on it just to make sure.
Is it mirrored and pure?
That's why, listeners, I don't have my camera on in the Discord chat. I am pulling the camera straight from the webcam for the stream because you would see Bill and Cluze look right and me look mirrored. So my shirt would not say Florida Keys. It would say Siek Adirolf.
See, I would think...
Adderolf, you know, that state.
Yeah.
Responsible for
Adderolf,
man, with the amazing ability to ruin elections year after year.
And do horrible, stupid things in the news every damn day.
Yeah.
All right.
Whenever you see him on the Swin, you know he's up to something.
I got that. It was funny.
There you go.
All right, so, dear listeners, this is Monday Night Magic, where, of course, we get heavily distracted while talking about all of the Magic tournament news and tournament results and Magic news. I screwed that up, but you know what we mean, because we've been doing
We
this
talk about all those things.
for a very long time. So, the first thing up is, bam, GP Prague. How many people were in G? It was 1999, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Prague partied like there were 1999 people
Out of time.
in the...
You know what? Just because you guys are making a reference to that, I'm going to say that's the hard mode.
Hard mode?
Yeah. BioShock Infinite. Hard mode. 1999.
Oh, yeah, see, that is not mirrored Cluze.
Okay, so that works.
And you get to play with your boogie board.
All right, good.
It's all he really wants.
That's all he really wants.
It pretty much...
Draw a bow tie on it and hold it on your neck for the rest of the show.
Anyway,
See,
so...
this is what you're missing out on if you're just listening and you're not watching it in the Twitch
Yeah, you
stream.
really should be watching. It's definitely worth the price of admission.
Which is nothing, it turns out. So,
Worth it.
You weren't supposed to tell them that.
GP Prague
All right.
had 1,999 people playing. We are not counting them by ones. And it was won by... Oh god, this is in Prague. I'm not going to be able to say any of these names.
Probably.
It was...
Yeah, I was leaving those to you, buddy.
I appreciate that. Pinball Witch threw 10 more bits and said something that I can't see. Hey, I paid 20 cents for my admission so far. It's true.
There you go.
So it was won by oh wait, they're down here. Let's go by Lauri Pispa or something like that. Who is playing a Hardened Scales deck that we stared at for a while before the show.
So you don't have to.
So yeah, this deck uses... It's been a while since we've seen Hardened Scales, if I remember correctly. So this deck uses Hardened Scales to make the number of counters on things like Arcbound Worker, Arcbound Ravager, Hangerback Walker, Walking Ballista, just spiral out of control.
Yeah.
And then you machine gun them to death with your Walking Ballista. Or with your Thopters.
Pew pew.
Yeah. It's also got Throne of Geth with Proliferate. That's pretty funny.
So that you can sit down in style while you pew pew.
Yeah, you can also just Ink Moth Nexus them. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Oh,
There are
look at
many
that.
on.
Yeah, there's a Blink
Just
Moth Nexus too.
Throw those counters on there, and let's just infect them.
That'll teach him.
That's dirty.
Yes, anything involving infect is. Wash
I
your
got you
hands,
there.
kids. Wash your hands.
Haha, germ counters.
Right. So, next. By the way, the reason we spent so long staring at it is because Cluze heard that there was a turn 3 kill, and we were trying to work out just exactly how that's possible.
And
Because
it
treating
is.
it like a puzzle is more fun than looking it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
We think we figured it out, and it can happen. I'm not saying it's going to, but you should block. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You've had 2 to 3 turns to play a blocker. Get on that.
You wanna run through it real quick, Cluze, since it took us so long to do it?
Well, if I've got it right, and I'm not saying that I do, but if I've got it right. So turn 1, we play some Hardened Scales. And for those who don't recall their Hardened Scales, it is a green enchantment for 1 green that says if 1 or more +1/+1 counters to be put on a creature you control, put that many +1/+1/+1 counters on it instead. That sentence makes a lot more sense if you actually see it printed. You're just going to have to trust me.
True.
So we play our Hardened Scales. Turn 2, we play a Walking Ballista, who is now a 2/2 because our Hardened Scales made him from a 1/1 into a 2/2 because we're going to put 1 counter on him. Now he's got 2. Turn 3, our Walking Ballista is now ready to swing. It's going to be great. Then we play an Arcbound Ravager, who also enters as a 2/2, again, because of our good friend Hardened Scales. We also play an Arcbound Worker, who also is a 2/2, thanks to our good friend Hardened Scales. Now, sacrifice the Worker to Ravager's ability to try and put a +1/+1 counter on Ravager. But you actually put 2 of them because of Hardened Scales. So now our Ravager is a 4/4. Now we got to move those 2 counters that were on the Worker over to the Ravager because of modular. So we move those 2 over, but the 2 become 3. because of Hardened Scales. So now our Ravager is a 7/7. So we have a 2/2 Ballista and a 7/7 Ravager. Sack the Ravager to itself to try and put a counter on itself, which you can't do because it's gone, but you just wanted to sack it anyway, so you could get the modular trigger to move the 7 counters over to Ballista, but the 7 counters now become 8 because of the Hardened Scales. You now have a 10/10 Ballista. Swing with the Ballista. If they don't block, they just took 10 damage. Now machine gun with the Ballista, because the Ballista, for those who don't recall, is not fair. It says remove a +1/+1 counter from walking Ballista. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So now you can just count down your 10 counters and give them 10 more damage. That is 20 damage on turn 3. So assuming they haven't done anything stupid with a shock land or fetch, they're dead. So you maybe didn't even need to kill your Ballista. I don't know. Look, the point is, if your opponent is playing this deck and they have a Ballista, you should probably kill it.
Preferably before it can kill you.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
The fun thing about it is it can use that same ability that it would be using to ping you to kill your blockers and attack a few times if they have to play it the slower way. So there's a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
What we're saying is don't trust robots.
They're in disguise.
This one's pretty out there, though.
Yeah, he's pretty obvious.
Yeah, he kind of is.
JD Phoenix in the chat says, I assume turn 1 Scales, turn 2 Ink Moth, Double Worker, turn 3 Ravager, Opal is plenty. Yeah, there's probably another one.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's the nice thing where the entire deck is really just built around a mechanical interaction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of redundancy built in and ways to take advantage of making small things bigger / pinging things.
I feel like there's something that prevents counters from being put on stuff. God, what card is that?
There's a few.
Yeah, I feel like that might be tech here. Probably not worth it. Let's just Shattering Spree.
All right, then. So that was first place.
Yeah, and we are going to get just as in-depth with nothing else today.
Go team.
Exactly nothing else. Second, wait, these are in order, right? Yeah. Second place. I'm gonna think this is like Theo Mary.
I'll buy it.
Wait, hang on. Is he French? He is French. So I don't know French pronunciation, but it's gonna be something close to that, let's say. He's running the Humans, which I have heard tell is one of the most oppressive decks in Modern. Just saying. So that's second place, Humans. Third place, Andre Strosky, and we'll get into him again in a minute, is playing Bant Spirits. And I have to say, like, this deck popped out when, hang on, what was the Supreme Phantom was printed. And I thought it was a week 1, you know, hey, new set came out, here's an aggro deck. But no, it's still here. And in greater numbers. So neat.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's flying blue goblins. Like, it's got your Ether Vial. It's got some removal, some ways to get free creatures, and then they're all just dudes. Cluze, you should like this deck a little bit. It's like Merfolk, but with white, because Geist.
And hexproof as far as the eye can see.
It's way too much blue.
Oh my god. In fourth place, Claude Schmidt is running the Ironworks combo deck.
Yep, Modern is ruined.
Yep, that I've heard is the one of the most oppressive and horrible decks in Modern. In fifth place, Bernardo Santos is running Humans.
Human.
Again. I already forgot where I was. Sixth place, Javier Dominguez is running a Jeskai Control. With all the stuff you'd expect. Yeah. Then, okay, hang on. Where are you from? You're from Norway. Oh God, that doesn't help. You know how in spelling bees they ask what's the origin of this word?
Yeah.
That sort of helps with pronunciation sometimes, but you know, not this time. So let's go with Joachim Haram. That's probably not even close, but I'm gonna stick with it. He is running. That's not the right deck at all. There we go. He's running Bant Spirits.
There you go.
It said his deck, but it was showing the Hardened Scales deck, and I was very confused.
That's different.
And then in 8th place, Kenneth Platinks. Platinks?
Need some hand sanitizer.
He needs hand sanitizer because he is running Infect. Check out that Singleton Distortion Strike in there. That's some tech you don't see all the time. So
it makes Infect work.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the modern top 8. So if you want to go back and check out the rest, where is the top 9th to 32nd? Oh God.
You know, you don't have to read all the way to 30 seconds.
I know. I'm probably not gonna. Let's see. We've got some Collected Company, Blue-White Control, Mardu Pyromancer, more Blue-White Control, more Blue-White Control, Hollow One. There he is. The Bridgevine deck.
Uh-huh.
That is the appropriate response, yeah. More control, more control, more control. Oh my God.
Hey, Cluze.
Spirits.
How do you feel about Modern?
Decepticons. More control. Dredge.
Better than standard?
More control. Grixis Shadow.
Remember that feeling.
Humans, Grixis Shadow. More control. Oh, there's an Infect. More spirits. Oh, there's a burn in 31st.
Get there.
And then rounding out the top 32 at 32nd is a mono green. Mono green? Sure. Tron deck that I've heard is one of the most oppressive and horrible decks in Modern.
So just can't hold it down.
Yeah, there's your top 32. Now, if we go to the highlights, we can see this insane pie chart.
This is an insane pie chart
Of
this
the
is like
metagame
an eldritch
breakout.
horror of pie charts.
Yeah.
I love that game.
So for day 2, we had 44 blue-white control decks. 30 humans, 26 burn, 21 Tron, 19 Jund, 18 Ironworks combo, 17 Mardu Pyromancers, 16 Hardened Scales. And that's just the first half of the what is this? A pie chart.
I'm sorry, Chewie, can I back up to Modern Pyromancer for a moment and just say Young Peasy? Can I do that?
We
No.
can't stop you now.
Okay, all right. You're right. We can move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then there were 75 under other. The
Yeah,
most
I saw somebody
represented
on
among
Twitter trying to find out what the 75 other might be, and I'm not sure if they were successful.
No. Right here it says the most represented among others were Death and Taxes with 5, Bogles with 4, and Elves with 4.
Ah, okay, so they really were a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, since
They're all
these
less
go
than
down.
7.
Yeah, these go down to 7 to actually be in the pie chart. I get the feeling the Storm and Titan Shift could probably have just been removed in the pie chart, be a little more expanded, and this could be slightly more than 75. But whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, Modern is still shifting because we didn't see that insane amount of blue-white control decks in recent memory.
Would you say that it's still scape shifting?
I mean, I wouldn't.
But
Okay, just checking.
Bill, could you smack Cluze for me? Well, he's below you at the moment, so it's probably not gonna work that way. Okay then. So there you go. That's how the Modern metagame looked in, where are we? Prague. So yeah, back to Andre Strosky. This is kind of funny. Andre Strosky said earlier in August that he's thinking that it's time to retire from professional Magic. He'll play one more GP in Prague, and unless he wins, it's going to be his last tournament in a long time. Well, as you heard, he finished third.
Every time he tries to get out, they just keep pulling him back in.
And actually, his last tweet is looking for Team Series team, likely playing all PTs. Also, this is BS. So, yeah.
One last job, they said.
They did.
And here we are in a sequel.
Yeah, he also submitted a 61 card deck, but was only playing 60, so
Oopsies.
he took a game loss in the first round and then said that his deck is broke.
Should have added that snow-covered mountain.
Because he was already at 61?
No, I mean for his 61st card.
Oh.
So, to remind you, he was playing the Banned Spirits deck.
Then yes, that snow-covered mountain would have been perfect.
Yeah. Bill, could you smack Cluze for me?
All right, so I missed last time because I distinctly forgot.
No
exactly
fair
where
getting
it
off
is.
camera, Cluze.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this squeaky duck and then...
All right.
Look at him move. You see how he moved?
He's got a boogie board bow tie now, so he's happy.
Yeah. Taking advantage of the delay to avoid my attacks.
So yeah. So that's Prague, I think. I think we're good on Prague now.
Yeah, let's go look at other modern.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Clue's no hiding behind the dead kitten either. That's terrible.
Ugh.
Oh my god. All right, let's go to the Star City Open in Baltimore.
I think it's too late. That happened over the weekend.
Oh. Well, then let's talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That is way better on the show budget.
Yeah.
We have a budget?
No, exactly.
That's why it's better on it.
All right.
All right, so let's butcher some names. We've got Stephen...
561 people.
561 people whose names I will butcher one
All
by
of them.
one. And
Until your demands are met.
And Pinball Witch threw 10 bits to add to the show budget.
All right, then.
That 10 cents will get us laughed at the bus stop. Even Steve couldn't get us on the bus for that.
Nope.
It's true. Not anymore. Not in this economy.
Not in this. So, Stephen Borakov won with a Blue-White Spirits deck. In...
Popular choice.
Excuse me. In, my ankle is doing something weird. It won't pop. It needs to pop.
Once it pops, it can't stop.
Oh, maybe it doesn't need to pop then. In second place, we have Annalise Faustino playing a mono green Tron. In third place, Quinn Tonole. That sounds like a cool word, Quintonole. That means like 5 of something, right?
Yeah, that's 5 Tenoles.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Was running Burn.
Burn.
Fuego.
That too. Fourth place, Benjamin Nikolic is running Just Guy Control. Daniel Will in fifth has Dredge.
Daniel Will Dredge.
And did. Ted Felicetti, I don't know which, is running a blue-white control deck in sixth. There were Humans in seventh by Tyler Fenstermaker, who I think gets the best name thus far. Good name. Yeah. That was seventh. And then Stephen Nagy finishes out the top 8 with a Hollow One deck.
A Burr Hollow One?
Well, it's cold there.
I bet so. Cluze, you should visit.
Yeah.
So that's 8 different decks, yes?
Depending on the Just Guy and Blue-White, I think they're pretty... Well...
Only the Just Guy has red in it, so Cluze likes it more.
Yeah, but I mean, not much. They're pretty close, but
Okay,
they're
so
pretty
let's call it
close.
7.5 decks.
Yeah, we'll call it 7.5.
Okay, and what did we have in the GP Prague?
I already forgot.
Less.
In the top 8, there were 2 banned spirits and 2 humans, I think. So 6.
All right, so we had 6. Okay,
I don't actually remember now, and I've closed it because I'm bad at this.
It was the past. We don't have the budget to go back.
Tournament results. No, we have the budget. She just threw it at us.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So there were 2 humans, 2 banned spirits. Oh, hey, I was right.
Nice.
Damn, I'm good.
Well, that was a good investment of bits then, if you got to be right.
Yeah. Any follow up to that? Are you good now?
Who, me? No, I was just curious.
Okay.
I'm just trying to keep track of, trying to keep everyone, appraised of what the modern metagame is looking like, making sure we're not getting too stale. Everything's going okay. It's not just Delver as far as the eye can see. Hashtag stop the top.
That's another format.
I know those are unrelated, but just wanted to get it in there.
Hey, Cluze, there's a Pyromancer in 10th now. That's better than last time.
Young Peasy?
I would hope so.
Nice.
So yeah, to the rest of the top 16, we've got Colorless Eldrazi, Mardu Pyromancer, more humans, Bant Midrange, Vengevine, yes, humans, Decepticons, and another mono green Tron.
Well, wait, which flavor of Decepticons, right? I mean, because we do have this Hardened Scales deck. Is that this deck?
I don't think that counts. That's not Decepticons.
No, that is not this. Well, all I'm questioning is that some people who are doing coverage might label such a deck Affinity, even though it's...
I mean, it does have exactly the same amount of affinity as the Affinity deck.
Yeah.
Right.
It's also important to know that once you start saying there's no Decepticons and you don't look, that's when you get Decepticons.
He's not wrong.
That's just how it works. It's in the name. They're con artists.
All right, then.
Pick a classic.
Okay, so that's the Open.
Yes.
So then let's do the Modern Open. No, we have a Day 2 metagame breakdown first. Excuse me, I forgot. The metagame breakdown in Baltimore is slightly different than Prague.
There's notion.
Shouldn't surprise anyone. We had 23 humans, 9 burn, 8 hollow one. Oh, God. 7 blue-white control decks, 6 mono-green Tron, 6 Jund, 6 Ironworks, and 6 Pyromancer.
6 Young Peasies.
5 Decepticons, 5 Storm, and after that, there's a lot of 3s and 2s and even more 1s.
4 Calling Birds, 3 French Hens.
Blue-black mill deck down there. That's terrifying.
Yeah, and only 1 Hardened Scales affinity. Look, they call it affinity.
Of course they do.
Plus Pure Steel plus Paladin.
Oh, man, I love that image. Too bad I can't see it.
And Add plus Nauseum. What? All right. So, okay. That's what it looked like at the SCG. So let us move on.
To a classic.
The Modern Classic had... I forgot already.
Modern Classic had 153 people.
Okay. Nicholas D ran Amulet Titan to win. Austin Collins in second with humans. There's a blue-white control deck by Ryan Ryan Gold Coin.
Neat. That's a good name.
Dude, I wonder if he uses that as some sort of like branding thing. He should look into that.
It would be worthwhile.
Paul Keener in fifth with a black-white Eldrazi Texas deck. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, it's the black-white deck with Displacer and Thought Not Seer and Wasteland Strangler. Okay, yeah. We've seen this. Gotcha.
Feels like a blight whack. Oh,
The blight whack?
That sounds great. No, a white-black taxes deck would probably somehow be Orsov themed, but nope. It's a blight whack deck.
What? It's wiggity blight whack.
Yo.
Yeah.
In 5th place, we have a blue-white control deck by Andy Varel. 6th place, Caleb Scherer is playing Storm. 7th place, Hunter Krott is running Humans. And Jonathan Wagner in 8th has a green-black mid-range deck. Oh. It's this deck. Okay. Scavenging Ooze, Goyf, Tireless Tracker, Kalitas, Tassiger, 2 flavors of Lily, and then assorted removal and disruption and whatnot. Yeah, okay. Nice.
Did you see the 11th place deck?
No, not yet. Wait, this is standard. Oh no.
No, this is modern.
Oh, this is Sparta. Hang on.
I feel safer in modern.
Okay, here we go. We've got blue-white control, mono green Tron. Oh, the As Foretold deck, Goryo's As Foretold deck. Yeah, it's been a while since we saw this.
Yeah, that's why I'm pointing it out. It's just been a little bit.
Huh, look at that. That's brutal.
Look at Flippy Jace.
Yeah, look at him.
Look at him too long, he changes.
What kind of a jerk.
Doesn't even go to work.
Buh. All right, let's close that before I cry. Oh, there's an Enduring Ideal deck in 12th. Are you serious?
That's some V for Vendetta nonsense.
Oh my god, you are serious. With Overwhelming Splendor. Wow. Okay. I'm going to close this now.
You want to bet we never see the epic mechanic again?
No, I don't. That's a sucker bet. And we've got more Burn, another Death Shadow, more Burn, and Blue-Red Wizards deck. In Modern? Delver, Lavamancer, Obstructionist, Snapcaster, Vindiclick. Oh, yeah. Every week I see this, and I'm like, why would you run this when you could just run Lightning Bolt? It's because you run both.
And then you remember.
Yeah, every week. This surprises me. I don't know why this refuses to... I think it's because it's a standard deck first in my brain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, no, we're in Modern. I'll be all right.
Good old 10 Lightning deck.
Yeah. So then let's go to the Standard Classic. Where we had...
After much searching, 72 people.
72 people. And hey, look, I'm a handy one.
Yeah. Fair warning if you're digging around. Some of the standings results listed for this are actually the modern ones because somebody made a mistake.
Yeah. She's running black-blue mid-range. Oh, yeah, this deck. Okay.
Boo, mid-range.
With Scarab God and Siphoners and Champion of Wits and Gear Hulks. Yeah.
Doomfall.
No. Second plays Harry... How do you say his last name?
Jack later?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Is playing red-black aggro, as is Anthony Maschio or Maschio, one of those in 3rd. Dylan Hovey in 4th has Bant Nexus. Wait, what is this? This is Turbofog that they refuse to call that. Okay. 5th place, Daniel Kudkovich. Something like that, is running a black-blue mid-range deck. Kenneth Rodriguez in 6th with the red-black aggro. Joshua Warsaw in 7th with the blue-black mid-range. Joshua Stewart in 8th with mono-red aggro. Is there anything else interesting? There's 4-color dragons in 10th. What is this?
It's like some Nephilim nonsense.
Glorybringer, Nicol Bolas, Vivectus Asmati, Varix Bladewing, Sarkon Fireblood. What?
That's funny. I like that.
And Dragon's Horde.
Wonderful.
And Spit Flame. Oh my god, it's flavorful too.
I appreciate all that. That is great.
Huh. yeah, this is
Dagrond.
this is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
How did he finish 10th?
The power of Dagrond.
The power
No
of
one
a,
expected it.
the power of a small tournament, maybe? Like, what?
I mean, 72 people coming in 10th still means that you had to beat some people. And I think it could be one of those funny things where you sit down and you just play like Dragon Sword or something. And they're like, oh, okay, you brought your for fun deck. And then they beat you with it. And it's good.
MTG Dad pointed out, yeah, Dragon Skull Summit in the lands. Like you do.
As you should. Yeah.
Huh.
That's great.
Yeah,
Makes me happy.
This is pretty funny. I like it.
It's pretty great.
The rest of the top 16 is the usual suspects, so we're not even going to talk about them.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the tournament news.
Yep.
Hooray!
Hooray! So okay, let's go back over here. Come back to this. All right. So I had to consult the show notes. Excuse me. All right. So there's been a lot of discussion lately about cheating and cheaters and whatnot. Not only with Bertoncini having a highly visible finish, but also because it's Hall of Fame time. And anytime the Hall of Fame ballots come out, everybody starts digging up dirt on everybody.
It's like the Oscars.
Yeah. And Wizards was apparently listening, and they released the following statement on the Magic Pro Tour Twitter account. It has always been important to us that competitive Magic is fair and honest, but we can do more. We're following the conversation, and we're starting a process to work with key community members to evaluate DCI policies and tournament rules to keep Magic a leader in competitive gaming. This is a big wall of text to say not much, but this is pretty standard WotC practice.
It is we're going to work on something, but if we don't tell you until we've already worked on it, you'll think that we weren't working on it. So no, we're working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, that's not everything that they've said they were working on that they told us about.
Yeah, they're also working on that Magic movie.
What? Shut up, Cluze.
Someone else is working on that.
Somehow
I said working in italics. Could you tell?
Somehow this first link got not open. The tab got closed. That I wanted to mention this before the tournaments, but here we are. Now we're going to do it afterwards. So, last week we told you that Wizards said they were working on getting pro player consultants to work with WotC on scheduling things and figuring out formats and all of that good stuff, right? Well, today we find out who those were. They were William Jensen, Huey Jensen, Willie Adel, and Eduardo Sajkulik. And excuse me, whatever I had for dinner is disagreeing with me all of a sudden right here live on Twitch.
It was waiting.
Apparently. So, yeah, this, I think, is a really sick trio of pro players. Willie Adel has been always one of the ambassadors for the game, as has Huey. And I don't know as much about Eduardo Sajkulik, but I assume he has been too, or else this probably wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone complaining about the list, and unless I missed someone complaining about the list, this is one of those rare things where like, yeah, that sounds right. So enjoy it.
Yeah, oddly enough, I have also not seen anyone complaining about this. Granted, this was just today, so I'm sure the complaints will pop up somewhere, but...
For the moment.
Yeah. And to answer the question in chat, yes... Pinball Witch threw 10 bits and said this will ruin Magic. Shut up. Yes.
These 10 bits will ruin Magic.
I was going to say, can we be more specific? Is it these 10 bits? Because if so...
I hope so.
Maybe you shouldn't throw those.
But anyway, going back to what chat said, yes, Mark Rosewater is still talking about Mike Long, but no, Mike Long is still not eligible for the Hall of Fame anymore. So, yeah. Thank goodness. He's been catching all kinds of hell because of this massive cheating discussion that's going on. Like, it seems like more hell than usual at Hall of Fame time. But, yeah, he also, as Cluze said in the chat, he also admits that he has a different vision for the Hall of Fame than most people do.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. So, that's that. But yeah, I think these three pro player consultants all seem to be level-headed and looking out for the good of the community and the pro players. Mm-hmm. Not so much the community of pro players. There we go. So, good job. Excellent choices, it would appear, Wizards.
Yes.
Okay, next. Next, we have some new products.
Stuff.
Also things.
Stuff for standard, things for not standard.
Yeah, so we have Magic Game Night, which actually sounds really awesome. Yeah. It's a 5-player, out-of-the-box, introductory, multiplayer experience. I hope the microphone isn't picking all of that up that's going on upstairs, because it's pretty loud.
They're playing Magic Game Night.
I can assure you that is not what's going on upstairs.
They got into all that advanced products Chewie doesn't get.
But yeah, it's 5 precons. It's essentially 5 like Planeswalker decks, sort of, kind of. And it's for those like groups of friends who like. This seems like it would be perfect for Bill, who has groups of friends who play Magic but don't like buy new cards and don't feel like building decks. They just, hey, let's play some Magic. So you can either build decks for when those people come over, or you have Magic Game Night where they did it for you.
Yeah. Or that group of friends that's like, hey, I hear you like this Magic thing. Can you teach us?
Sure, yeah.
Well, I don't think you're going to like bust out your, legacy deck for that.
I don't have one.
So here's a bunch of broken cards that work together to break the game. I'll teach you that after the rules.
Like, to credit for what you're saying, I have at various points taught people how to play using dual decks, because they would be themed decks that were more or less straightforward. Ooh. A lot of the time. And also because a lot of them weren't balanced, I gave them the better deck. And that kind of makes them feel a little better too as we work our way through it. Although there's a lot of better training products available now. But I can still see this being a fun thing to do with a group of people, especially because it's up to 5.
Yeah. And
comes in a pentagonal box.
A pentagonal box! Half-Life 3 confirmed. But that's not all. Each of the 5 decks comes with an exclusive card. But these are not standard legal.
No.
So we get... Not going to run through all of these and read them, but we get the Militant Angel, the Inspired Sphinx, the Rot Hulk. Rot Hulk. That doesn't roll off the tongue.
No.
The Goblin Goliath. See, that one rolls off the tongue.
That was a big goblin mutant.
That is a big goblin mutant. And the Avatar of Growth.
He are Groot.
All of which are neat. And, they're not super powerful or anything. But I can see these being good in someone's, not super highly overly competitive commander deck.
Yeah. It's a good way to show people how the colors of Magic work as well, because it's one of each and they're all monocolored.
Correct. So yeah, and we have deck lists here for those of you that are interested. Yes, Colossal Dreadmaw made it. Get there. So yeah, that's that. It's neat. It's gonna be. It says $39.99 if you're in America, and it comes out November 16th, just in time for Christmas. So yeah, get there. The other new product, excuse me, is the gift pack, which is apparently. It says they're updating the gift pack. Did this have another name before?
Don't they do a holiday gift pack every year? Or a new set gift pack, or whatever they want to call them?
Holiday gift primary draw was the box.
I thought that was the Deck Builder's Toolkit, or is that something
else?
else?
No, that's different.
That's a completely separate product.
What we're saying is there's a lot of peripheral products.
Yeah, it's very easy to keep these things straight.
Yeah. So the gift, go away, Magic website. So the gift pack will have 4 Core Set 2019 boosters, 5 premium lands. What, 5 lands? Okay. A spin down die, and for the first time, 5 creature cards exclusive to the gift pack.
Yeah, I don't understand the 5 lands either. There are only 4 colors of Magic.
So the 5 cards are, again, around the Planeswalker deck level of power and skill necessary, or knowledge necessary.
That means expect them to cost at least 6.
And they do, yeah. But these are going to technically be part of Core Set 2019, and so thus will be standard legal. So Angelic Guardian is standard legal, but Militant Angel is not.
Right. No confusion there.
No. But yeah, we have Angelic Guardian, Angler Turtle, so, Bill's happy.
Scalefish.
The Vengeant Vampire, the Immortal Phoenix, redundant, and Rampaging Bronto Dave.
Oh, he got bigger and angrier.
Yeah, because Bronto Dave is sick of being sacrificed to blow up. Is it artifacts or enchantments?
No more thrashing for him.
Yeah.
Artifacts or enchantments, yeah.
Yeah, so now he's rampaging. He drank his milk, got real big, and he is out to kick ass.
He's not belligerent anymore.
And then there's 5 basics that are foil, which, all right.
The other 5 lands.
That seems very strange to have 5 foil lands. I don't get it.
Not even new art.
They did go with one of the best planes ever, so.
I mean, that is pretty good, yeah. If you look off in the distance,
planes.
If you look off in the distance, you can actually see. Oh no, his name fell off. The guy from Gladiator.
Maximus?
Yeah, I was trying to think of the actor's name though.
Oh,
Russell Crowe?
Yeah,
fighting around the world.
Yeah, you can actually see Russell Crowe with his hand out, touching all of the planes.
As the Elysian Fields wander, yeah.
I was thinking that if you looked off in the distance, you could see them killing Magic.
You have to go to Swamp for that.
Yeah.
All of this is going to kill Magic.
But
that's sarcasm, by the way.
But yeah, so gift pack has cards that are standard legal. It helps that these all have M19 on them, in case you're confused, whereas the ones that we mentioned before did not.
That's true. They have the pentagonal box on them, which is actually really cool as a expansion symbol.
Yeah, it's distinct enough that it'll be okay. The gift pack also has a cool packaging thing.
So that leads us to this tweet from Evan Irwin.
Yes, it does.
That has this comment from Reddit that says, I'm just going to read this straight. It's easy to tell what's in standard. Just go by the expansions that are currently legal and some of the supplemental products aimed at relative newcomers like Planeswalker decks, as long as they're not the ones that are only legal in mainland China, and gift boxes, but just the new one, not the old ones, but not guild kits and not game night. But yes, intro decks. It couldn't be more straightforward. Also buy a box. Right. Did Core Set 2019 have those extra cards that aren't in boosters but are standard legal? That has been the case for years now.
Yeah, I believe they did.
They did.
You guys stopped moving. Why did you stop moving? There we go.
We were
because
afraid.
then I'm invisible.
Oh, right.
Bronto Dave sees motion, so we had to hold still.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So on this tweet, it does kind of encapsulate some of my feelings about what's going on here. So I'm not sure that there's necessarily a good solution to, kind of there's more than one problem that's attempting to be solved here, right? So there's the feel bad moment of, I just got into Magic. I went and I bought this new thing that literally just came out. I bought this new thing, and I can't play these cards in a tournament because the tournament is standard and these cards are not standard legal. So I see how that's a feel bad moment. But at the same time, you also have the kind of feel bad moment of, I'm trying to figure out what's in standard, and there is no straightforward way for that to occur without keeping track of all of this. I'm going to describe it as the dilution of standard, because the word meant something very easy to define and very specific before, and now it sort of does. Now, don't get me wrong, most of these cards are not really, I guess, viable is the word I'm going to use here for a kind of tier 1, tier 2 standard competition. But at the same time, we have some slip through the cracks here and there, right? So it could happen.
Now, just to clarify for me, all of the cards from that list that are legal and standard have a standard like set symbol on them, right? Like M19. Even the extra M19 cards say M19. Even the gift box says M19.
Yes,
the buy
I
a
think
box
that is true.
says M19. So the same rules are still applying. It's not like before where you bought dual decks and tried to use those cards because they weren't in the symbol.
Yeah. It's like the other master that they're serving is, of course, the dollar. Like, with Planeswalker decks, there's no reason to have other Planeswalkers in them other than you don't want secondary market people buying the Planeswalker decks because it's got, a $10, $20 card in it.
You don't want a true name nemesis situation.
Yeah, but they still want to give players Planeswalkers because Planeswalkers are cool.
And they need to be able to play with them.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you learn, is when you get one.
But there are also people that are buying those because they're collectors, which I'm sure is probably more than you might think. So I don't know. Like, I have gone on record many times as saying the Buy a Box promo especially is excellent because of the way that it pushes people to the local game shops in ways that just fancy art won't. But it's getting kind of out there. Like, there are cards that are legal and standard all over the place that aren't in boosters. And again, for the vast majority of people, this won't matter, and it doesn't matter to me. Cluze only hates it on principle.
Yeah, that is okay. Let's be clear about that. I really do just hate it on principle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Philosophically opposed.
But it seems like they're just throwing out more and more and more and more. And it's like, dude.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where as long as people are purchasing things, they're going to keep throwing more and more out. And because every time we see these earnings reports, Magic's doing pretty well, they're just going to keep doing it because they want to know what the actual market capacity is. And they're not going to find that until they've passed it and suffered a little bit. Because for once upon a time, there would be 3 sets a year, sometimes a core set with it, and that was it. And over time, they've gone to 4 sets here, and now big sets every time, and all the supplemental products that come out. Like, it's just constantly selling new things and repackaging things in different orientations for different audiences. And as long as people are still buying them, they're going to keep making them. And as we've seen, a lot of products that we liked got discontinued because people stopped buying them and replaced with other products.
Yeah. So
I chalk the vast majority of these things up to market research that also makes money and pays for itself.
probably. But this is one of those discussions that's going on in the community right now, so
Yeah,
yeah.
still good to know about. Pay attention.
So there you go. I really like Rampaging Bronto Dave, though.
You should. It's big. And
Also,
he's not stopping.
He gets bigger. I don't think I realized he had trample. Huh.
I'm still confused by the big dinosaurs that don't, but I mean, elephants trip too, so why not?
Anyway, so I think that's it for products and whatnot.
I believe so.
Let's see. We did all of this. All of this. Hey, Cluze.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll do that after this. Okay. So the other big thing that has been making the rounds in the Magic community lately is this. Some artists from outside the country that work for Wizards of the Coast, in this case on Dungeons and Dragons, were detained at customs and handcuffed, taken to jail, and then handcuffed again, taken back to the airport, and deported. And
Going back to their country of origin.
yeah, and this is all we had for a good little while. A tweet from Magali Villeneuve, I think that's right, Twitter account, which was being run by her husband, I believe, at the time.
I believe so.
And yeah, apparently their ESTAs got revoked. I don't know what ESTA stands for, but if you are the type of person who travels for work and business and pleasure, then I'm sure you do. But then, earlier today, Titus Lunter actually posted what happened. So it was Magali, Titus, and Anna Steinbauer arrived at SeaTac Airport August 25th for a Dungeons and Dragons concept push. I don't know what that means, but they were bringing in artists and whatnot to, I guess, get all of the upcoming concepts ironed out in person. I'm guessing is what that means.
Probably. Like, in the development stage of a lot of things, that could be anything from we're going to put together some initial concept art and art direction to we want to come up with like the brainstorming of the style that we want to go with for a thing. Because Dungeons and Dragons is heavily established in art style already, it was probably just, this will be easier if we get everyone here together so that we make sure we're all on the same page. Also, you know, let's hang out and see what we can do in an all-day meeting.
Yeah.
This is speculation based on my experience with things like that. So,
Yeah.
not actually necessarily factual.
So it says under the conditions of their ESTA visa waiver, we're allowed to travel for business and pleasure. Shortly after our individual arrival, pulled out of line, separate detainment area, blah, 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 blah. They took their phones and shipped them off to jail. Is this bigger? Oh, God, this is bigger.
Yep.
But, yeah. Apparently, what had happened was they were in violation of the ESTA visa waiver, whether they knew it or not. So now their ESTA eligibility is canceled forever, and they are not allowed to enter the U.S. without a full visa. Now, apparently, they've made it into the country to do all of this before, in relatively recent memory, there was a tweet from Titus Linter right before he left. He said, "Hey, I'll be back in Renton. Who wants to play Commander?" And so, yeah. But this is, like, okay, I understand that perhaps the ESTA didn't cover this. That seems fine, but why would you handcuff and ship off to jail some artists who are coming to do art?
Right. So my understanding is this, and let's start with the usual caveats. Not an attorney, certainly not an immigration attorney, not well versed on this. Actually, an American citizen with an American passport, so traveling into and out of America is relatively smooth for me. But my understanding of what occurred was once it was determined at the border that they were in violation of their ESTA visa waiver, and I'm not sure whether it was the ESTA part or the visa waiver part that they were in violation of. I do not know. But once that was determined, they weren't allowed into the country and therefore were going to be deported back to their place of origin. But the next flight, the next available flight to their place of origin wasn't until the next day. So then the question becomes, what do you do with a person who is now at customs, is not allowed into the country, and you can't put them back out of the country? You can't just put them up in the hotel next to the airport because that would be in the country, and that's not allowed. So as I understand it, and again, this is with sketchy details, they were then turned over to ICE because that was the procedure, the standard operating procedure, that if you have someone who's caught in this kind of gray no man's land, I guess is the way I might describe it, that you just turn them over to ICE. But by ICE's policy, once you're in ICE custody, you are handcuffed and hauled off to a jail cell because that's what they have, is they have handcuffs and jail cells. And so it's not that they were necessarily arrested or that they intended to put them in jail. It's that they had nowhere else to put them. And once they got turned over into the ICE system, that is what ICE does. So that's my understanding of what went on.
Yeah. Which seems to line up with Titus's account of the situation here. It's just, there's been a lot of nonsense in this country about immigration here in the last, I don't know, 2 years.
A while.
Yeah. And this seems a bit much. The chat is saying, given how ICE has been known to work, it could have lasted a lot longer. They've been known to hold people for weeks. That's also true. So I guess thank their lucky stars they're not still in a detention cell with no beds, but blankets. That's nice.
Yeah, and if they take away your phones as soon as this process starts, it's not like you can call someone to fix it.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah.
So this is a topic that people have been talking about for the last day or two on Twitter.
Yep.
It is. And those are all the facts that we know. I'm sure there's lots of rampant speculation and finger pointing. Let's try and minimize the rampant speculation and finger pointing till this gets all squared away. Someone in the chat, and it might have been Stark. I think it might have been Stark. Pointed out that later WotC did tweet, and let me find it here. This weekend, artists consulting with Wizards were unable to enter the United States. Wizards staff are in contact with them, and they are currently safe and at home. These creators are beloved at Wizards and in the community. While we address the events of this weekend, rest assured that they'll continue to be a part of Magic and D&D for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, they do the vast majority of their work for Wizards at home anyway.
Yeah.
So this seems to be Wizards just going, no, everything's fine. Which lines up with Wizards' other statements about things in the past. So, yeah. Thank you for that, Stark. So that's just more Magic-related news that's been going on here. Or Wizards-related news. Isn't this glorious? So then we have one more thing here from Cluze.
I gotta say, is this my thing? Yeah. Okay. So little piece of news. So this upcoming weekend is I'm gonna keep calling it PAX Prime. It's technically PAX West, but the PAX that's in Seattle, the PAX that is where PAX started, is coming up. That is this coming weekend. If you're listening to this the week this comes out, if not, if you're listening to it in the past, it was in a past weekend. But anyway. Or in the future. This is a past weekend. Oh man, time.
If you're listening to this in the past, it's in the future. And if you're listening to this in the future, it was in the past.
It was in the past. And
if you're listening to this in the present,
welcome to the stream. We're on Twitch.
Hi, how are you?
If you're listening to this at PAX, then you're welcome to PAX. All right, yay.
Cover those bases.
Magic being in Seattle, well, being in Washington, typically has a presence at PAX, and this year is, I'm going to say, no exception, except it's a little bit weird, which is why I did put it in here. So first off, there is a panel. The panel will be on Saturday, September the 1st at 6:30 p.m. That is crazy West Coast time, not East Coast time. So Saturday, September 1st at 6:30 p.m. there will be a Magic panel where maybe, possibly, there will be previews. And I'm pretty sure we're going to start to see some... I'm going to use previews, not spoilers. We're going to see some previews for the upcoming Return to Ravnica set. That is my expectation. The second thing they will have is a Learn to Play booth, which they typically have at PAX. In the past, they've sometimes had giant booths on the show floor where they were previewing, like MTGO stuff and new products and things like that. That's been scaled back over the past few years. But each year, something kind of different happens. So a couple of years ago, when we were going to, what is the name of that set? With all the artifacts and...
Kaladesh?
Kaladesh. When we were going to Kaladesh, they had a...
So tempted to say Ravnica anyway.
Huge presence. They had essentially taken over one of the theaters nearby the venue, and they had tournaments, and they had a street bazaar out front. It was really cool. They went totally overboard. Some years they've had a huge presence in the annex across the street, and they've had bunches of tournaments and things going on there. But they've always had somewhere a Learn to Play booth, so that you can walk up and just learn how to play Magic if you've never played Magic before. Now, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably already know how to play Magic, and you probably don't need to go to the Learn to Play booth. But hey, go and say hi to them anyway, is what I'll say. They're going to have several cosplayers on hand, possibly including some dressed for Ravnica-themed things. So that's going to be pretty cool. But it appears from what's written here, and I cannot prove this, that if you actually want to play an actual Magic event, that there aren't any on site. That the Magic events are all taking place at Mock's boarding house on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. Now, Mock's boarding house is not right at PAX. It's in the greater Seattle area, but it's not like you're walking to this. We're talking car, let's say Uber, one of those Lyft, I don't know, or public transit, which actually the Seattle public transit is pretty good. So I don't really know if that's true. I feel like there ought to be someone running some Magic events on site, but I haven't found that information yet. So that's what I found weird about this announcement, that they're mostly not on site if you want to actually play a tournament, it seems. But I'm still digging, is what I'm going to say. I will be at PAX, so I'll let you know after the fact how things are, but that doesn't really help you plan if you're planning to go to PAX.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
I never have understood why someone would want to go to something like PAX, where there's a gazillion things to do, and play a Magic tournament?
I can kind of answer this.
Okay.
But only kind of. It depends on what the tournament is, and it depends on how much your feet hurt. So after about 2 days on the show floor, you look at the schedule and you see that there's like a 4-round two-headed giant event, and you're like, yeah, I could do that. I could totally just sit down for a few hours, play some two-headed giant, and then wander off. That'd be cool for me. But like an actual, like, this is going to be like a 9-round standard tournament. Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
So
that's what I mean. Like the big, like multi-hour, like massive things. I don't get it.
The thing that I like to do most at these kind of events is when they have like a planeswalker deck league or like a dual deck league or something like an intro deck league, where you essentially pay for the price of an intro deck or a planeswalker deck, and then you just play against other people who have also done that, and you like fill up a little card where you get your opponent to like sign it, and then you turn that in for prizes at the end. Because then if you just want to like kill an hour, like there's a panel coming up in like 3 hours and you're like, well, I got nothing to do, you can just wander over, play some Magic. That kind of thing I like, because it's kind of free form. You can kind of come in, come out. That's a nice way to do things.
I know that at Dragon Con, they've got a giant game room that runs the entire weekend. And for the Magic component of that, they tend to have like, round-the-clock flights. As if you can get 8 people, they fire for like drafting. They've got their fair share of events and stuff like that. And it can be nice if you, like you said, you have a day where there's a long period of time where you've got nothing to do and you just want to play Magic with some strangers. Like, that's fine. I know that sometimes at conventions they have interesting events. Like several years ago, I remember doing a rotisserie draft, and that's a weird kind of thing that you can only really do at big dumb events like that. And if you're not like, a pro player who's going to travel to go to a big Magic tournament that you're probably going to lose at, then opportunities to do stuff like that on a much more casual level exist at conventions, which is cool. Like, I did the super long tournament thing like twice in the decade I've been going to Dragon Con.
Excuse me.
After a while, I'm like, there's other stuff I can do with that long period of time than play Magic. So I kind of stopped doing that. But it was fun while I did it. And it would be like one part of your weekend. Like, I would never go to one of these conventions and just stay in the game room the whole time. But for some people, that's what they want to do. Like, you go to a big convention with your friends, you do the gaming stuff for a little while, you meet up with your friends for dinner, late at night, you go do other stuff, but it's a way to spend your, Sunday afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I'm not down on it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to explain, like, why I've seen, like, I know I've met some people at conventions who that's just all they do. They spend the whole weekend in the game room and they just bounce between playing Magic, and then they go get in some board games for a few hours, and then they go sign up for a Pathfinder Society game, and like they're just ping-ponging around the same room for 3 days, and they'll leave at the end of it and they're super happy about it. So if you don't care about guests and you don't want to stand in line, suddenly card game tournaments sound pretty good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Wow, we were on that topic so long the chat started talking about pogs, so maybe we should move on.
I'm not sure if there's a big POG presence at this year's PAX.
Well, you have to keep an
I
eye
will
out.
report back.
Yeah. Everything old is new again. POGs have to return.
They'll be back in
POG form.
In POG form.
Yeah.
And in lower numbers.
All right, then.
You remember Alf? Good times. We did that entire reference backwards. Wonderful.
Pinball Witch threw 10 more bits and blamed me for bringing up Pogs. Which is true. That was my doing.
Well done.
So that's actually it for links and stuff.
Yeah. The only thing in Magic Online was a bug log update, and it didn't entertain me enough to waste your time with it.
Fair enough.
Those are the rules now. It has to be funny.
I thought the bug had a different name.
Oh, God.
That's not funny. For shame.
Dude, no, wait.
Well, you know, not any of my jokes can be good.
You really can't wash that old judge smell off, can you?
No, you can't. I am, in fact, an old judge.
So should we wrap it up then?
Probably, yeah. So, you can find me on Twitter at SqueeGoblinNabob. There's no Iron Goblin because I think at this point the Iron Goblin is already at DragonCon waiting for me to get there on Thursday. So I'll be at DragonCon on Thursday looking for my eye, and then I guess I'll hang out there for the weekend. And if you're going, then let me know, and maybe we can meet up at some point. If you've never been to DragonCon and it's your first time, then I will tell you where the secret food court is, which is available on Friday only, but it'll make your day a lot better. Past that, I appreciate that when I come back from DragonCon, I get to watch a new season of Luke Cage the following weekend because that snuck up on me.
Nope.
A week from Friday.
Nope. A new season of what?
Oh, did I say Luke Cage? I realized that after I said it. Yeah, it's Iron Fist, but Luke Cage better be in it anyway because, I mean, Heroes for Hire, man. But yes. Iron Fist, a week from Friday. Maybe not as bad this time. Don't watch the trailer. It spoils stuff, I'm sure. Good.
Maybe not as bad this time. I like it.
To clarify, I don't think the first season was bad. It just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. This one looks like it'll be as good as I wanted it to be, so I'm more excited.
Yeah, the first season caught a lot of hate when it came out, and I watched it, and I was like, that wasn't that bad.
Well, I think the real problem is it had, season 1 of Daredevil, season 1 of Jessica Jones, and season 1 of Luke Cage to go up against. And it was like
those were all really good.
Yeah. So if you've got a list of things and it's a finite number of things, one of them has to be the worst, and it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But based on the fact that I enjoyed what I saw of Iron Fist and his recent cameo appearances, I'm looking forward to seeing this writing for him continuing forward, and hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. So that'll be a thing I get a week after DragonCon. So that's gonna be my next few weekends. Fun times.
Cool.
How's about you, Cluze?
How do I what? I don't know how I do anything, quite frankly. Boy, I'm so tired. Hey, if you want to, hear more from me, I'm on the Twitters. I'm at Lacluyze. I'm on Mastodon. I'm at Lacluyze at mastodon.social. It's kind of lonely there, so
yeah, imagine that.
You could come join me. I mean, right now, all I see in the feed that I've got is pictures of pets, which is actually kind of refreshing. I kind of enjoy it.
So you got the good part of social media?
Yeah, it's basically the good part of social media. And yeah, that's a thing. I'll be at PAX, so that's kind of cool. Looking forward to that. Not looking forward to the not sleeping on the way back and then having to teach, but it's a thing. I'll survive somehow, I think. Question mark? Yeah.
You better.
Big question mark.
Follow the rules.
Yeah, that is important. Is rule number 1. Just also want to say a big good luck to everybody who has started classes for the semester. This is both students and perhaps especially instructors. The semester has started, and boy, it has started with vengeance. So there's that. Be excellent to each other. Take it away, Chewie.
Yay, excellence.
Party on.
No, that's later.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Oh, okay. So, hey, you can find me all over the internet as the Manipool. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, here on Twitch. Over on YouTube, what's been going up? The Stanley Parable, DuckTales Remastered, the Hearthstone Puzzle Lab, the new single player content from the Boomsday Project, and where it's sort of like trying to figure out how to kill on turn 3 with Hardened Scales, except a lot of it. And still more XCOM, Enemy Within, stream highlights, where people from the chat are my squad now. Bill is our heavy, because when we play Overwatch, Bill is the tank. Like, hey, Bill.
Yes.
If you had to pick between, oh god, what was it? Ammo that does extra damage to robots, or getting an extra reaction shot every turn if the first one hits, which would you choose?
How many robots am I fighting?
Well, when you fight any, there are a lot, but when you don't fight any, that skill is useless.
I probably would want the more reaction shot, because that sounds like it'd get more explosive.
And see,
like
that's
things
why
that chain together.
That's why I picked that one for Bill, because I was like, Bills are heavy, and I sat there and like, heat ammo is really great when you run into cyber discs and whatnot, but that's not Bill.
I mean, why attack once when you can attack twice for twice the price?
See?
So.
Thank you, creepy bald man on a plane.
He was
he
on
on a plane?
Like Space Station Mir.
Yeah, he was on Mir at the time, yeah.
Oh, was he at the space station? Okay, I just remember he was.
Yeah, it was back when we had a Mir.
Wow, that movie's old. I need to see Contact again. I haven't seen it forever.
It's a good film.
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but the point is, Bill is our heavy. Pinball Witch, who's been throwing all the bits, is one of our snipers.
Ain't heavy, he's my brother.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I'll just sit quietly. Go ahead.
Cluze, I'm gonna throw this duck at you.
Wait, hold on. Which way are we gonna? Okay.
You ready?
Are we left, right now?
Yeah.
Duck.
Okay.
He dodged towards it. Good job, Cluze.
Yeah.
Damn it! I keep forgetting that this is
mirror technology.
All right. Anyway, that's what's been going up on YouTube. Over on Twitch, I've been streaming those things and the podcasts and probably some other stuff that's not coming to me right now because I'm tired.
Yeah, internet.
Uh-oh. Witch threw 10 more bits. What'd she say? Sniper bits. Yeah, because she's one of our snipers. So yeah, that's all stuff that's going on there. So if you would like to help support what I do, by all means, go to patreon.com/themanapool and sign up for one of the lifeguard slots. You can get, let's see, at Uncommon Lifeguard, you get early stuff. The odds and ends is next. You get the early stuff. You get YouTube videos and Manapool podcasts early. If you go to the Rare Lifeguard, you get the odds and ends, all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manapool. That is uncensored and unfiltered. And if you go Mythic Lifeguard, you get all that stuff and the shout out on both podcasts and on the end slate for all the YouTube videos. So I would like to thank the Mythic Lifeguards. This also corresponds to the roles in the Discord server. Hey, we have a Discord server now. You should totally come hang out there. It's pretty awesome.
Also on the internet, where you could be right now.
I mean, I live there, so yes.
You work there too.
Yeah. So, I would like to thank the following Mythic Lifeguards: Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Paul David, Lance Delicious, Team U, Hellas Are You, Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Bosco Brittain, Casey, Fayen Says, Danny Liao, Jason Doan, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Brian DeLucci. I lost my place. Oh, God. There we go. Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, John Parker, Jimmy Scott, Dan Holm, Bartle, Mike Millerburn, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Thank you all so very much for your support. I quite literally could not do it without you. And with that, we'll be done with, what is this? 621. Monday Night Magic number 621. So, yeah. Thank you all so very much for listening, and go play some Magic.